Hello everyone, this is Pedro Lara, comic book artist. Welcome to the live or real time drawing stream. I was fixing this drawing. Going to make the pencils again. Okay, this is again for this drawing. It's in 3D assets. Using the 3D as a reference, but the characters are very different than the 3D model. So their anatomy and muscles and everything will be different. Will be very different actually. Okay. Just checking that everything is going smoothly. The streams. Haven't decided the facial expression in here. Do I want something more like this? Like he's using some strength. Do you see that? And the jaw is closed, goes into this direction, right? But when the jaw opens, goes into this direction because it has like the axis here and makes this movement, right? So close is here and open is here, right? Well, it's not exactly open, but his teeth together. So this is slightly more open than before. This small angle detail, the difference from here to here, tells your anatomy knowledge better. On previous streams, I was talking about how I don't like these models because for the woman a lot because they are too heavy in this area. Right? The women are more like this. But in the case of this character, which is not a woman, but this character is super bulky, super heavy. So in fact, the models fall short in the anatomy of the character. So I need to make the character even bigger than what you see in the 3D 3D art, 3D model. So what I'm doing here is the general anatomy first for the character. This general anatomy, eventually I will then use it to draw the clothing on top of the character. 1 second to check out messages. Check out for messages. Coincidence. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. What I don't like about this character, this 3 model, is that it has like the pecs too weird. Like I don't like this shape. Doesn't feel okay. I think this feels like too expanded. Way too expanded. It's not like that. It's more like this. See? Doesn't doesn't this look and feels better already? It should. This one should feel better, right? So he's more like Hulk or Venom style of anatomy. More Venom than Hulk. Venom is a little bit more B-shapey, let's say. This is Venom. He's more B-shaped. This is the Venom. B. Venom. And the Hulk. To make sense. You can make a YouTube video out of that, you know? Yes. The B of Venom and make the character all of the B because the Hulk is a square shape. So you can have something like this Hulk, right? And draw the character there. This is the Hulk. The Hulk is more like this. Always wearing the same pants. See, the Hulk is more square and the Venom is more B-shaped. So let's say this character is more B-shaped. or like this, and like this. First drafts, I made it more like the Hawk, and the scriptwriter was like, no, I wanted more angular, and I understood what he meant. See, like these boobs over here, uh, it's not, it's not working for me. Something wrong with the anatomy in this 3D model. So you get to understand your anatomy when you're doing these 3D models. It's not like, whoa, I get figures for free. Now I don't have to think about this anymore. Or you will need to think about this. So I'm going to making not so thin waisted, thin waist. So over here I'm thinking in the clothing. If the guy uh, stretch his arms like this with his chest pull out forward, the clothing is going to be like this. That's for sure. He has like this big scarf. The scarf probably is going to be the size of a pillow. Not a pillow. A what's the name? Blanket. The size of a blanket for a normal human. Since this character is probably he's twice the size as a normal human being. Probably not twice the size, probably like 1.8 or 1.7, but just twice the size as a woman. Okay. See, now that I have drawn the anatomy, I can do the clothing more easily. This is very Superman kind of drawing. So this guy like attacks, and this one blocks, and this one made a mistake. This is a monster and it's kind of an animal. So he doesn't have training. He doesn't have combat training. But he does have combat training. So one thing you do when you're fighting some stances of boxing, and definitely Muay Thai, which is like Thailand kickboxing, is that you fight with both your hands up, like the fist, probably at the height of your eye level. Fist at the height of your eye level, at least, if not at the height of your head. You remember Sagat, Street Fighter. He's like he's like this. He's fighting like this. And he has this stance where his foot is a little bit raised because he's standing on the heel, right? He's a little bit like this, Sagat, right? This is proper. This is proper Muay Thai stance. Like these guys knew what they were doing. He has like, let me make this drawing a little bit more over here. Okay. This is going to be like here. And this is the fit. This is the fit. So this probably should be kind of like this. Too much lean to the side, right? So this is like this. So I'm not placing the guy like that, but I'm placing the guy like that. Always, always, always drawing on perspective. Always, all the time is on perspective. See? Perspective, right? Second. So the thing with this card, and sometimes in boxing you can in box you use this card if you are like defending, is that this hand, the only requirement for blocking, if you want to block with this hand, uh, I think I'm going to clean it a little bit. Just clean it. If the guy you're fighting against is not really good, you don't even need to move your hand. He's going to hit you in the hand. Your hand is in the way. He cannot hit you. Has happened to me fighting in the street, defending myself against an assault. And if the guy realizes that he cannot pass your hand, he will try to go around your hand, right? Or on top of your hand. So then the only thing you need to do is this, and he will not be able to hit you. You just move your hand a little bit up, and that's it. And that's what he is doing right here, right? He raises his hand, and boom, blocks the attack. And that's a proper way of blocking. You don't block the fist, you block what's connected with the fist. That's what you block. Same like if somebody comes with a baseball bat, you don't grab the baseball bat. You will break your hands and you will break your fingers. You grab him, you grab his arms, right? So you don't try to block the fist. The fist is too fast and too small. You block his forearm. This area is where you block. So this is a proper block. He knows what he's doing. He knows. Okay. And the other advantage with this guard is that once you have blocked, the only thing you need to do is this. See, just stand the other hand. Stand, extend the other hand. So the other drawing will look something like this. When he extends his hand, boom, and this goes like this, and this goes like this. And this hand, the one that was blocking, is still up, still up. So it goes like this. Block, boom. Somebody can animate this and it will look good because, well, there should be many in-betweens here because as you may notice, this is his back. This is his back. And this is his front, right? So he turns all the way when he hits. So the next, he blocks, but he didn't choose to make a strike. This is a strike, strike punch. He didn't choose to make a strike. He chose to make a hammer punch. Hammer punch goes like this, like this. Like when the karate guys tries to break some stuff, right? But with the fist close. The fist close like a hammer. Boom. Hammer punch hurts like hell. I know because I have been on the receiving end. This is the hammer punch. Boom. As you can see, his back and his hand is still up. Never forgets. He never forgets that his guard should be up all the time. But it's not something that he can control. You cannot control that. When you have trained a lot, hand just stays up. Muscle memory. Okay? Why it stays up, Pedro? Well, if he didn't connect and this guy somehow waves out the hit, he will be open on the receiving end. Or if this guy blocks, he will be open if his other hand is not blocking too. And that is exactly what happened with this guy. His hand is down. So he blocks and all this is target. All this is free target. And that is exactly what he does. This is how you make a fight scene. You choreograph a fight scene, right? It's not It's not like Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball has some of this that I have showed you. It's not like Dragon Ball. Like this guy hit him with like whatever punch, and the other one goes flying. In fact, I have something like that here. I have something like that here. Okay. They set him on fire. She jumps through the fire, hits him very clearly. Her guard is up, but she's clearly giving him all her back in the punch. She punched him. This will be a knockout to a regular creature. This one responds, boom, and sent her flying to a building. So this is very Dragon Ball, but I didn't want it, the fight to be resolved as Dragon Ball. I wanted to be resolved more technically, more choreographed. So this guy falls. He was already in the ceiling. He just jumps down and say, "Okay, I take it from here. Load me up." What happened with this layer? Load me up, Trish. And Trish loads him with rocks, making like gloves of rocks. The monster says like, "Come on, I'm ready for you." And then this is what happens. The monster attack and he blocks. And after the block, he resolves with a hammer punch. His storytelling is here. His hand is down and his guard is up. And his technique here is flawless. Hands right up, head a little bit crouched, and this leg on front, this leg on the back. It's like a diagonal movement, right? Boom. That resolved the fight. After that, he just overkills these guys. This guy. It's just an overkill. That's how you choreograph a fighting scene. You need to understand the principles of a fight. So for all the people that are doing, all the artists that are doing fighting scenes without understanding those principles, you know why the manga is so good with that. Most of the artists in Japan know about those principles, right? They train the artist. I can assure you they train martial arts. You can see. You can see when an artist know martial arts and when an artist doesn't know. You can see it in the principles of the battle. If they go to fancy and do a lot of fancy movements or movements that just look cool, but that's it. They don't know. But when you see something like the first Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball but the first when Goku was young, he has to train under Master Roshi. That was everything. There was a comic, a manga made by somebody who at least have trained once in his life. It was very obvious, very obvious that was the case. Naruto sometimes Naruto sometimes have some things that seems like they know they have trained and have some other things that seems like they don't know, or it's just so fantasized that it doesn't matter, right? So that's another thing. You can make something so fantasized, so much fantasy that it doesn't matter if your fighting fundamentals are there. But I can tell you, if your fighting fundamentals are there, it will look better. You will have a better looking comic. Better looking comic. And it's good for you too. It's good for you to go and train and learn. If you wanna do fight scenes, go sign up in a gym where they teach something. Any martial art. Doesn't matter. Whatever you choose is going to be better than nothing. Doesn't matter. Sign up. You may like it. You will feel better with yourself. Not in the first days. The first days you will you will feel like shit. You will feel like shit in the first days. That's no secret. No secret at all. But probably after 1 month you're going to be like, this was actually really cool. This was actually really badass. You may stay. You may stay for a while. After that, you may even love it. As an artist, it's really good. Really, really good experience as an artist. I did Muay Thai. I did Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and Israel Krav Maga. This like for 12 years. And this like year and a half, I think. Krav Maga. Just got my Krav Maga license, which is almost like a belt. They don't have belt, they have licenses. And I think there is only 3 licenses for Krav Maga. The first license is like, okay, you know some Krav Maga. The second license is you are an advanced Krav Maga. And the third license is now you can teach Krav Maga. And they have some special licenses, the fourth and the fifth. The fourth is for police. Police. So you learn how to fight Krav Maga using your own weapon or using your own um, pistol. And protecting people, arresting people, and dealing with hostage situations, right? And in this one, the fifth is for army. Here you learn to fight with your pistol and with your rifle, and how to defend against uh, an enemy that also has a rifle. Obviously, not from distance. You have to intercept the enemy. You have to intercept the enemy to be able to do anything. If they saw you, or they see you coming, they see that you have intent of fighting back, you are dead. You are dead. It's so dangerous, so dangerous that they don't teach that, because people need to be at expert level to have the fifth level, the army. And then they also teach you combat situations and combat strategies that involve capturing other soldiers and kidnapping and assault, but not assault in like robbery, but assault in like a team of armed soldiers that want to take control of the situation, uh, escape and everything, like being a bodyguard and all that stuff. They teach that, how to protect somebody, some VIP or something important, somebody important. At the levels that I learned, the one, two, and three, they teach you the basics of those. So you at level one, they teach you how to protect somebody that is with you from harm, but they are not going to teach you like everything about, or many situations, many adaptability is what you need to know. In fact, it's not it's not the situation in Krav Maga. It's like the psychology of adaptability. You need to adapt to whatever the hell is happening in that specific moment, and react promptly. And if you can't, don't do it. If you can't react, if you can't adapt, don't do it. It's super dangerous, super dangerous. After I train Krav Maga, I just say that, like, I don't care if somebody comes at me with a pistol, maybe automatic or not. uh, I am not fighting back. I am not fighting back, because it's super dangerous, super dangerous. In fact, they teach you that don't fight back unless your life is in danger. And if you don't fight back, you're going to be dead anyway. That's the only time they teach you that you should fight back. Right? Okay, I think the pencils are done. The pencils are done. What is almost 40 minutes? I speak and a lot. Speak a lot. What is in this? What is happening in here? I made a folder. I didn't want to make a folder. Okay, this is going to be inked, tinted blue. Now we can make the inks, which is why we're here. How's everybody in chats? I get all my views on YouTube after I make the stream. Always, always. I don't have audience in YouTube. Zero audience, zero live audience. But I get some audience afterward. Some cool thing that I realized, I think was yesterday, is that this stream is ranking, I think, number 4 or 3 on YouTube if you search for comic. So that that means that the comic keyword on YouTube is completely underutilized. Anybody, even myself, which I am a nobody, can get a hold of the third position in YouTube algorithm with comic. So it's underutilized. Like nobody is doing anything in comics. Nobody is doing anything in comics in YouTube. And probably in everything else. Have been starved to death in North America. No wonder why nobody's using comics. North America, they have taken the comic and probably give them a poison pill to the comic culture and leave it there to die. That's what they have. That's what they are doing. So your Batmans, your Supermans, your X-Men, your Avengers, they are dying of starvation. That's the best possible scenario for independent comic artists. That's the dream scenario. That's where new art movements are born. When other art movement is disregarded and neglected, like the comics are now in North America. Not the anime, not the manga. The manga is strong as ever, and has always been very strong. So the manga is fine. Nothing happening with the manga. No worries at all. Japanese manga is doing just fine. But the sales in American comics are abysmal sales, and every time they are worst. Like it's going down. Like the selling numbers for the number one comic is what will be canceled because of low numbers in the 90s. I think it was like, I don't know, the number one, the selling was 30,000, something like that. And in the 90s, this is like in 22, right? And in the 90s, this number will be canceled because of low sales. And here in 22 is the number one in sales. So that's the state of affairs right now. They are not selling, and they are doing everything possible, everything they can to make the product worse. And it's expensive. I think in the 90s, look at this, in the 90s, they were like $3 each one, each comic. And some were $1.5. And now in the 20s, they are like $5. And I think there are some that are going like into $7. So we're probably doubling, making the price twice. They are making the price twice as expensive and with less than half the quality. What do you think is going to happen if you do that with your product? Hmm? If you go, say, let's charge the double for hamburgers at McDonald's, but let's take the meat out. It's going to be meatless hamburgers, twice as much the price. That's our new product. What do you think, guys? And everybody just stands from their table and leaves. That's what everybody is doing with comics, with American comics right now. Everybody's standing respectfully from the table and leaving. And then the next week they go like, remember the the pickles? We took out the pickles too, and now we're going to charge you even more. Isn't that amazing? And more people leaves. And not only that, they go like, we're going to take the pickles out, and if you don't like it, you are you're against us, and you're a horrible person. If you don't like that we take the pickles out and charge you more money, you're a horrible person, and you should be cancelled. And more people go like, I don't think this is good for me. I'm just leaving. Bye. I'm going to play some video games. Or even better, they go and purchase some manga. I think Demon Hunter last year sold more than 200,000 units in US. In US. And was the number one selling comic in the US. Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is a manga. That will let you know what is going on. In the US, where they produce their own comics, and you may say the comic industry is stronger than ever because you can see all the movies, all the Marvel movies based on comics, and the Batman movies and all that stuff. Well, that's the movies. That's the movies. Everybody's going to see the movies. Everybody's seeing the movies. The movies are fine. The comics, from where those movies were generated, not so hot. Not so hot right now. Not so hot. What is happening with Batman at this moment in the comics? What badass event is happening? What is the next big thing with Batman right now in DC Comics or with Superman? Tell me, what's the next hot thing? His song, I think Superman song, which is song, his song, and that is the next Superman. I think Superman is like retiring. He's saying, "I'm hanging my cape." His song is going to be the new Superman, and I think the new hot thing is that his son came out of the closet and said that he's gay. That's the greatest new adventure of Superman is that he has a romance with another boy, and doesn't I don't have anything against that. Just that it doesn't sound like action comics to me. Doesn't sound like action. It sounds like romance. And I don't know, it's weird. I don't care if he is or not gay. That's not my issue. My issue is that, let's say that they launch next week the last movie for John Wick, and in the next movie for John Wick finds true love and goes into a honeymoon with his lover, whatever sex it is, whatever orientation. Let's say it's a guy. I don't care. Huh? He was married before, but now he discovered that he's gay. So he's going out in a honeymoon, and that's the movie. What would you think about that movie? Do you think it goes along with the line of previous movies of John Wick? It captures the same target audience that once say the John Wick was a really badass and cool character. I think it makes a little bit of a disservice to the character, and probably is even disrespectful. It's disrespectful with the character. Like, no, John Wick is about dodging bullets and fighting hundreds of guys at the same time. Where is my fighting? Yeah, he can find love. I don't care. I want to see him kicking ass. What the hell is going on? Why am watching John Wick in the Bahamas in the sunset kissing his lover? It's not the movie that I want to see. And I think that's what's happening right now in the comics, in the US comics. What I think they should do, if they want to make that kind of, to tell that kind of stories, which is okay. You can tell any story you want. You can tell any story you want, and I don't think there are bad ideas. There are bad executions. I will make a magazine that is the name The Song of Superman, and I will make the adventures of the Song of Superman. And the Song of Superman, uh, he finds that he's gay, and he has a lover, and there's a lot of drama and jealousy and whatever thing happens in romantic stories, right? They are selling a romantic story, and they are telling you this is a romantic story. The main character is the son of Superman, but it's not an action comic, it's romance. So the people that love Superman and think that Superman should be action oriented, they will still have the old magazine. The old magazine is about Superman. He is fighting some aliens that came from space and are super powerful and they want to take control of the earth. That's the movie, the magazine. So if you want your romance and your drama, you can buy Song of Superman, which is a character that is very much like Superman. It's just that it's younger and it looks hotter and it's homosexual. So it's a different story. Okay, looks like Superman, but it's not Superman. It's different. And the other one, the old one, is for your old audiences, the ones that get you where you are right now, and the ones that probably are bringing their sons and their daughters, or even their granddaughters or grandsons, right? Because it's a franchise that is very old, and these people still feels that is a nice adventure they want to share with their loved ones, and they don't feel like the character has been disrespected and disregarded totally into oblivion. That is why I think it will be a wiser way. You want to up your split your what is it, your audience, then make two magazines. Make two magazines. You want to split your audience, make two magazines, and then you split your audience. Don't split your audience in your own unique magazine. It's not it's not a marketing idea. It's not a very good marketing idea. I don't know who is uh, giving marketing advices to these guys, but it's not going it's not doing a good job. It's not doing a good job. And I think they made the same, well, not the same, but they made something similar with Batman. Like Batman retired, and then they retired. All the characters retired, and all the old character retired, and they give the mantle to a new generation of characters. So Batman is no longer Bruce Wayne. It's a new character. And the same happens. Like I don't have anything against whatever the new character is. That's not the issue. The new character is not the issue. The issue is, why are you taking Batman out? Or Bruce Wayne in this case. Why are you taking Bruce Wayne out? Bruce Wayne is not like, nobody's saying I like Batman, but I have issues with Bruce Wayne. Like he's not a good, he's not so cool. The 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 bat suit is really cool, but Bruce Wayne is not. So why don't we just give the bat suit to another character that is better? And nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. In fact, I think the new comic, sorry, the new movie, the new Batman movie, Bruce Wayne is really interesting. Really interesting, Bruce Wayne. A lot of people is saying like, no, that's a cool Bruce Wayne. That's a cool Bruce Wayne. So the problem is not Bruce Wayne. Same thing they did with Aquaman, I think. The new Aquaman is Aqualad. It's Aqualad. I think what they wanted to do, because they want to get rid of the man, the man label. If they could do that with all the comics, I think they will do it. Like it's not going to be Superman; it's going to be super lad, super super person, and Aquaman is Aqualad, which I think is the song again. Is the song of the Aquaman. I don't know. I just lost complete interest. Complete interest. It's like I don't know how to say. There's nothing like it. It's like they are saying, "We don't want you. We don't want you as an audience. Please leave. I don't want your money. Leave. You have old people money, and that's not good money. I want young people money. Okay, like that's fine. Look, a lot of brands do that. Like let's say I don't know sneakers, or something like that. They are branded for certain ages, right? They're branded for certain ages. So it's okay. But then I think what went wrong with that strategy of saying I don't want your old guy money, I want these young people money, is that young people doesn't have too much money. They don't spend their money in comics. They are not purchasing those comics at all, and they are not giving a crap about the comic. They just don't give a crap. They are like, no, give me Demon Hunter. I give a crap about Demon Hunter, but give a crap about anime and manga. That's what I could give a crap. But those old guys comics, Batman and Superman, Super Friends, Justice League, or Avengers, X-Men, Wolverine. I don't care about those. Those are for all people. But the old people are no longer welcome to the party. So now the party is for no one. The party is for no one. And the business is down. The business is down. There is no party. There's no party. That's the thing. There's no party. They say, you know what? We prefer to not have party than to have you in the party. Okay? So get the hell out of my house. There is no party. And now there are a lot of customers that may be like, Where's the next party? No, 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 I don't have party. Where's the next party? This is why I say this is a great environment for independent artists. This is why this stream is tracking number 3 or number 4 if you search for comics on YouTube. It's up for grabs. Anyone can grab it. Anyone can do anything. I think what happens with the comic industry in US is that they they were really happy with the movies and with the cinema and with the Hollywood, and they were like, no, we have our characters, we have the franchise is established, uh, we have our copyrights, everything is in place for the movies to work, right? So we just won't work on them. We just won't maintain these comics. They are not needed. We only need the licenses. We only need the Batman, Batman's name, Superman's name and appearance. It's all that we need. The comic, we don't care. So they leave it like that. They want like, what do you want to do? Do you want to experiment with this and make it into a into romantic drama? Then do it. Then do it. As long as you keep publishing and we get the license, as is, everything is in place for the movies. We don't care. And then here comes Webtoons. Webtoons. What the hell is going on with Webtoons? Well, Webtoons have something interesting. Interesting. They have good audience. Young people is reading Webtoons. There are the young people. The young people that Marvel wants very much, very hard. And DC Comics wants really, really hard. These young people listen Webtoons, reading what they want and what they like. And Webtoons created a platform for them. And it's going great. So far, it's going great. So, Webtoon was only lacking on one thing, one little small thing, and it's that to, to capture and to target this sweet male audience, which is 50%. So you have female audience 50%, not to be binary, and male audience is 50%. You can have your LGBTQ and plus, whatever it is. I hope I am just using the plus to include everybody else. But this is a percentage very low, very low of the populace, probably something like this. And you can easily just do that, something like that, and let them this percentage, let's say is 2%, so just send 1% here, 1% at, at random, and then we will have our simpler segmentation. It's not We're not making a segmentation for discrimination, we're just making a simpler segmentation of marketing, right? It's just to make it, to keep the numbers simple. Okay. And so they have the female audience strongly positioned in webtoons, and the male audience not such strongly positioned. So there is more female audience than male audience on webtoon. Mhm. So we need to capture a little bit of that audience. What can we do? Well, you can have more products that target the audience that you want. So you want males. What products do they want? Let's see in the past what products were successful with males. And it seems what the studies say is that comics like Batman and Superman and X-Men and all those were very successful with men. Hmm. So your action comics, right? Yeah. If you check also Japan, all your Dragon Ball and your Naruto's and your very successful with men. Okay, so it's action basically. You can resume it into action. Action comics are what it is that appeals the male audiences, isn't it? Oh yes, you can say that. You can make the argument. Okay. So basically, we need more action comics. Yeah, but we kind of need them fast. We need probably, I don't know, 100 more action comics. And this is the problem. Webtoons, the number one comics on Webtoons are drama and romance. Popular, going to popular. Popular. Oh, very good. We have more variety. Red screen. This is like the top 9. Can I watch the top 10? Okay. This is the top 10. Print screen. I haven't seen this before. So I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. But ah, this is better. I don't know what happens. Sorry. This is the one. Copy. Okay. Going to paste it here. Paste it over here. Okay, let's see. No questions, no questions. I hope somebody is listening to me, listening of all this talk that I'm giving you. So Number one is Lord Olympus is a romance. Beautiful, beautiful drawings, beautiful colors. I think it's a beautiful comic. I think it's a masterpiece of comic, and it deserves the number one many times over. Many times over. It's really good, really good. Recommended. I recommend it to you if you like comics. But it's a romance, and it's target for woman. Target audience is woman. So that's your number one. Your number two. This is interesting. Look at this. I don't know if this is. I'm going to be going into conspiracy. I'm going into conspiracy right now. I'm going to make this a soon so you can see what I'm seeing. I'm going into conspiracy mode right now because didn't happen. This didn't happen in previous months. This month is when I'm seeing this. The second one is the superhero action comic, male targeted, male targeted. So they place this in the second position. Obviously, the number one position is Lord Olympus, which is amazing. But the second position is a. Can I see the numbers? This one is 5.8 millions views on this one on Lord Olympus. 5.8 million views. And in the second one, 5.5 million views. Okay, it's good. It's good. No, sorry, I'm talking about subscribers. Talking about subscribers. Sorry, I need to check it out again. Yes, 5.8 subscribers, Lord Olympus, and the second one, I need to check it out. On Ordinary, 5.5. So it's just a little bit behind it, right? Looks very interesting. This is what is happening. This to me, I am not saying this is a bad comic at all. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it. And given that Lord Olympus, I think is really good comic. I have no doubt that the other one, which is the name Unordinary, is a really cool comic. I got to check it out. Got to check it out. I have no doubt, no doubt. But the amount of views you can manipulate that. It's not that the numbers are manipulated. I am not saying that. I'm saying that if you place something in the storefront, everybody's going to check it out, right? If you have a store and you place something on the window, everybody's going to check out what you just placed on the window. So you can pump up the numbers naturally, organically. It's an organical pump. That means that real people is checking the comic. It's not fake numbers, but you can pump it up if you place this comic over and over and over in the front page until it reach something closer to the number one. So you have your audiences split in two, in half and half, male and female, and that looks better when you try to sell advertisement. That looks a little bit better, right? The number three is a romance. Number three is a romance. You know who likes that? The number four is a fantasy. Let's say this is female, this is male audience, this is female audience. Fantasy can be 50-50. So let's just make an X. Slice of life. Uh, this also can be anything. This can be anything. Slice of life can be whatever. Romance, female, romance, female, romance, female, romance, female. So if you see this, do you think this makes any sense? Do you think this is natural? This is organic views. This is organic views. I'm not saying that the numbers are not true, but I feel there is a lot of push for this. If this were 50-50, this is the scenario we were seeing. If this were 50-50, this would be like female, male, female, female, male, male, female, male, female, female, something like that. So you see an approximation of 50-50 in the top 10. But it's not what is happening. And you can say, Pedro, but you say this is female and this is male, and then you bias it because you say this is female, and you say romance can be, fantasy can be whatever, but let's say the fantasy is male, like Lord of the Rings. So okay, let's say that is fake. And slice of life, and I doubt with this graphic and these colors that is male. Let's say that is male, and this one is a fairy. This one is a fairy. So don't tell me that this is not female. And this is female, and this is female, and this is female, and this is female. So even though making a little adjustments, it still looks like very female bias. Very female bias. Okay? Go away, mosquito. Nothing against the female audience. Nothing against the female audience. Please don't. Please allow me to clarify anything that may be interpreted uh, wrongly. No, I am talking about simple marketing numbers, simple marketing strategies. That's what I'm talking about. Simple marketing strategies. Nothing against any of the audiences that we are discussing here. Nothing. We have no horse in that race. Okay. So the but I feel that my sixth sense tell me that the evidence shows me that they are making a push for the male audiences. They're making a push for the male audiences. And how can you tell, Pedro? What is the evidence that you have? Second, this is space again. This is the evidence I have. Call to action contest. Webtoon. Webtoon. Call to action. We have established in this conversation that the action is what brings the male audiences into your platform. Is the action. It's not your romance, it's not your slice of life, it's not It's not your fantasy. It's not your thriller, and your thriller and your horror is not even in the top 10, so you don't care. It seems nobody's caring about thriller or horror. My comic is a thriller. My other comic is a thriller, and I make it, I market it and design it to appeal the female audiences. So this is why I say I don't have anything against any audiences specifically, and I have the receipts. My comic is targeted to female audiences. You can see it. You can see it. It's very clear. It's very clear. Female character, charismatic. The male character is a little bit. It's a little bit douchey. The other female character, very powerful, very strong and beautiful, and she has friends, other female characters, and they will have some in the next in the next chapters. They're going to have struggles, very female related, right? So it's female oriented. The story is female oriented. It's not action oriented. It's not male oriented. But it seems nobody's caring about their uh, thriller and horror. Those are completely neglected. Completely neglected. No, doesn't care. Doesn't matter. The only one you got left to work is action, and this is why they make this action contest. This is why this action contest exists. Oh, I really hope the guys at Webtoons are hearing this in this analysis that I am making, and they can deny it. They can deny it. Yes, of course they can. But they can realize that I am I am up to something here. I am up to something. So with this comic contest, action comic contest, they are securing at least 100 comics coming into their platform on a single month on June 1st. June 1st, they're going to have at least 100. It won't surprise me if it goes into 200 or something like that. Creators, feeding them with new stories, proposing uh, new action oriented comics to the whole uh, web webtoon canvas community. Uh, Very good plan, very good planning. I think that's masterfully crafted marketing strategy. I think that's a masterful crafted marketing strategy. It's something that the guys at Marvel Comics and the guys at DC Comics are missing. They are missing that. And this is why I say I don't have anything against anything. I actually admire what is going on. I am actually saying props to you. You're doing something very smart. Very smart, very smart, very smart. Mm. And then after this the dust settle down, everything is said and done, and they choose their own new winner of this contest. The winner of this contest is not the winner of this contest. The winner of this contest is Webtoon Canvas. That's the true winner. Pedro, but you sound like you're saying that they're exploiting you, that they're exploiting their audiences. No, 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 no. Nobody is forcing me to do shit. I am doing this because I want. I'm doing this because I think it's smart. I'm doing this because I think it's a good idea that they have in here. I want to back up that. I want to back up. I want to put my money where my mouth is. I am doing that. I'm doing exactly that. I am one of those creators that for free, I am giving them my my action oriented comic ideas, specifically tailored for male audiences. I am one of those, but I know I am not going to be the winner. Webtoons is going to be the winners. This looks like an eyebrow, but this is not a eyebrows. He doesn't have eyebrows. He's like Herman Monster, a Frankenstein, something like this. Okay, I'm going to give you my ideas and bring you more male audiences because I believe that's the right thing to do. I think that's the right thing to do if you are publishing comics. Take back that neglected audience that somebody left behind. I would do exactly the same if I were in your position as a company that makes money out of comics. I will do exactly the same. Exactly the same. Somebody's neglecting an audience. The audience has nowhere to go. There is no party to be had. Everything is so boring around here. I better go to Japan. They have something in Japan for me. They don't have anything here. Hey, wait a minute. What do you think about this? Do you like what we are doing here? It's a lot of action comics, man. Very badass, very kick-ass. Don't you want to check them out? It's for free. Oh, really? Yes. Come. Yeah, let's check them out. Did you make the noob mistake of changing the eyeball? Let's see what's going on in the. Everything is going fine. Everything is going fine. Okay. Did I make the noob mistake of making his eyeball? No. Mm, no. No eyeball. No. Okay. No problem. Everything. Everything is going fine. Okay. I will do exactly the same. And I will think it's the right thing to do. And when somebody is doing what I think is the right thing to do, I give them my support. I give them my support. I put my money where my mouth is. Since I don't have any money, but I can do this. If I can win the contest in the process, wouldn't be mad at all. Obviously, I'm not idiot, right? But I think it's cool, and I want to be there when all the male audiences came here. I want to be there because it's going to be a fertile ground for my comics to be, to grow. So I want to be there. I want to be one of the first. I don't care if I don't win. I would like to win, but I'm thinking in the future of the media, of the medium, future of the medium. Nobody's purchasing comics. Nobody's going to the comic store and purchasing some comics in the comic store. Nobody's doing that. They are getting their comics online. They are reading their comics on Webtoons. They are waiting until the anime is being made and they are seeing it on Crunchyroll or Netflix or they pirate it. I don't know. But they are not purchasing comics. No comics have been purchased. They are not spending money in those comics. So the money must be acquired somewhere else if you have a company. Always was a good idea to acquire the money from advertisement. So you capture a good audience, a big audience. You can demonstrate that you have this big and diverse audience. And if you show that, the advertisement comes along by its own. That's the strategy. So you don't have to sell anything. You don't need to sell anything. That's exactly how YouTube works. Nobody's getting YouTube Premium. Is Premium the name? I don't know. Nobody's getting that shit. But we are all being fed advertisement in YouTube all the time. All the time. Because YouTube has this huge audience that they have captured. So they can do some numbers with that audience. Can make some fat numbers with that audience. So much that they give money to the creators that bring more audience. So the creators works for YouTube. And YouTube pay the creators bring more audience. That sweet audience numbers allows YouTube to sell advertisement on its platform. And so on. It keeps going. So Webtoons is going to do the same. Is doing the same actually. Webtoons is doing the same right now. Webtoons is like the YouTube for comic artists. If you understand that, you understand the business. of webtoons. I also think or believe. I also believe in other thing, and is that we are all tired, we are exhausted of the current state of affairs of our pop culture at this moment is stale, is not going anywhere. It's like has been doing the same thing for probably 20, more than 20 years or 20 years, like from 2000, early 2000s until today. And it's not, sorry, let me rephrase it. It's not doing the same thing. It's getting worse and worse every year. The pop culture is getting less exciting and less exciting, exciting. And I think it's related with the we call it the revenge of the nerds. The nerds won. We won. We won. We the nerds. We were like having fun with our hobbies in the 90s, and nobody gives a crap about nerd culture. Everybody was like, "What the hell are you doing? I am reading comics. Whatever." Everyone's like, "Whatever. What the hell are you doing?" And I'm going to play some Dungeons and Dragons with a couple of friends. And yeah, one of my friends is a dungeon master. I don't care. I don't care. That Dungeons and Dragons, that sounds super nerdy. Get out of here. So nobody care. Nobody care about our hobbies. Our hobbies were invisible for everybody else except we, the nerds. We knew our video games. What are you going to do? I'm going to play on my PlayStation 1. What the hell is that? Well, it was not PlayStation 1, it was just PlayStation because there wasn't any other. So it's just my I'm going to play with my PlayStation. What is that? Is this oh, it has nice 3D graphics. And I think it is started there. It started there. Oh, but it looks cool. It looks reminiscent of of a movie. So more audiences start coming to the video games. Sorry, there's a truck. I think it's the trash truck. 1 second. So nobody cared about video games in the Super Nintendo and Nintendo era. Nobody cared. The video games were an almost failed experiment in the 80s. Almost failed experiment forever. In the 80s, there was video games, and the video games became huge in the 80s. In the 80s, the video games were part of the popular culture, like from one night to the other. And everybody was saying, okay, this is the future. Video games is the future. Let's put all the money in that basket. And they did just that. And the Atari company, could not deliver what Hollywood and all the, the traditional media was expecting from comics. So the comics went bankrupt, and everybody was like, "Oh, this was just something transitional. This was something transitional. It's not going to endure. It's not going to be something that is going to be part of our culture forever. Let's get out of here. We lost some money. There are thousands of copies of the video game ET Extraterrestrial in a desert buried because they could not get rid of those copies. So they buried the copies in the desert. Look for it, it's true. And then it came along Nintendo. And Nintendo came after that with the first Nintendo, the Nintendo Family System. Was I think was the name. And everybody was like, it's nice, Super Mario, but it's those video games. It's those video games that fail us in the past. So we are not giving you all the money. We're not giving you all the franchises. We're making the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and we're going to tie in a video game because video games are having like a second uh, renaissance. But we are not going to give you all the money like we did before. We're not going to give you all our trust. So no, there was no trust in the video games until PlayStation came along. When PlayStation came along, they were like, so video games can upgrade, right? Struck again. Yeah. Get out of here. Bye, bye. Okay. They went like, okay, so the video games can upgrade. They are not just those pixels that look like this. And this is Mario. It's not things that looks like this. This is Mario. Something like this. They went from that to something 3D. They went that from Crash the Bandicoot. They went from that to Final Fantasy 7. And okay. First you got my curiosity, now you got my attention. And casuals started to play video games. And video games started to be something part of the popular culture. So now it wasn't a nerd hobby. It wasn't anymore relegated into the basements as the Dungeons and Dragons, right? And the other hobbies that you may have, the Magic the Gathering, uh, cards, or whatever, the Pokemon trading cards. It was no longer something uh, relegated. It was becoming part of the popular culture. So the video games became part of the popular culture and solidified eventually throughout the years. And it came along all the other hobbies, and the Lord of the Rings books. Now they got some attention. The Harry Potter books got some attention. So those nerdy books that only the nerds can care about now were huge productions because somebody say, okay, I think the nerds know what is happening in here. The nerds have the nerds know how to spot a very good product. So if we follow the nerds, we will get the money. And one by one, all nerdy hobbies became part of the popular culture and became part of Hollywood. And then you get the X-Men movies. And eventually you get one movie that changed everything was Iron Man. In Iron Man, it's kick-started all the Marvel universe, cinematic universe, MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, make billions of dollars. That cinematic universe and created an explosion of hero exploitation. They are exploding the heroes until they cannot explode it anymore. And all nerdiness became part of the popular culture. So now, do you remember what happened before? The nerds knew how to spot a good franchise. They knew what was fun because they were passionate about it. They were really passionate about it, the nerds. The nerds are really passionate about what they spend their time on. And that's a good way to identify something that is cool, that is great, that is going to be successful. Follow the nerds because these guys are like the testing ground. But since everything nerdy now is part of the popular culture and every casual is liking what the nerds used to like, you cannot spot the nerds. There are no nerds anymore. You kill them all. You kill them. Not only that, some franchises, the nerds speak up. They were like, "Hey, that's not my Witcher. That's not how Witcher should look like. That's not how it's in the books or in the video games that we love." And they chase down those opinions. Shut up. You are being misogynistic or you're being uh, a bigot or whatever. You get out. Shut up. Don't say anything. Don't criticize what I am doing. I have invested a lot of money here. So get the hell out of my platform. Shut up. I don't want to hear your voice. You don't know what you're saying. You're just a nerd. That was a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake. Because the nerds knew what they're saying. The nerds are great at spotting, at identifying what is going to be successful in the future. Follow the nerds and you will get the money. And they just say to the nerds, shut up, get out, you bigot. The Witcher is not going to be the same as the books. In the books, the Witcher is a I don't know a, a toxic masculine character. And we are going to make it into an enabler of the power feminine characters. That's what we are going to do. So the nerds learn something. Learn to shut up. Hi, hello. Sorry, I didn't saw you were there, Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Thank you. very much. So this is why I think the nerd culture has been declining, because voices has been silenced. There is no way to identify the nerds, because now everybody can like what the nerds used to like. So there's a lot of people, a lot of voices. Now you don't have that like curated opinion, and the the popular culture has been in decline because of that. And it's the perfect ground for like an artistic or cultural zeitgeist change. What the hell do you mean with that, Pedro? Well, it's like saying, oh, Sophie, I don't know how much time since when you say this. Do I have do I have a way to see the time toggle timestamps? Oh yeah, okay. Probably you are still there, Sophie. Thank you very much for showing up. Say something. Sophie, were you the one that asked me something last night? Because last night I got somebody asking me questions, and without noticing I closed the chat and I could not retrieve it. If were you, sorry very much. It wasn't my intention to just ignore people. I don't want to do that. I don't want to ignore you. I want to acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge you. Okay. Eh, what was I saying? Yeah, you cannot identify where are the nerds, and then the cultural zeitgeist change. Oh, I think what is happening? It's saving recording. That is a fancy way of saying a cultural revolution, or an artistic revolution. I think we are in the verge of an artistic revolution. We are going to see how the artists and the nerd artists, they are still there. It's just that we cannot see them. We don't know where they are, because they are merged within the population, since everything nerdy now is popular. So the populars are merged with the nerds, and we cannot identify them. If you open a pool on on Twitter and ask, what do you think about Moon Knight? Let's say that I think it's the new Marvel series, the newest Marvel series from Disney Studios or something like that. Disney, for the Disney Plus service, right? Moon Knight. If they ask that pool, and if they open that pool and ask, what do you think about the new Moon Knight? And they will get a lot of different opinions, including the opinions of the nerds and the opinions of the casuals. But that curated opinion is no longer there. You lost it. It's lost. You cannot have it. And before that opinion is what leads you to find new exciting things that can be a hit. So the voice is lost, but the nerds are still there. The nerds, we haven't disappeared. We are still here. We are creating. We are doing stuff. Pero why do you say you are a nerd? Well, if you spent probably something close than 30 30,000 hours in a hobby, which is drawing. This is why my drawings looks awesome, Sophie. 30,000 hours or more, or more on a single hobby. Well, probably that's the overkill definition of a nerd. I am an uber nerd. I am so nerdy, so nerdy, so nerdy. I was one of the nerds, and I saw it. I saw the world change before my eyes, and I was like, "Oh, I want to go to see uh, the vampire movie. I want to go to see the vampire movie. Nobody wants to see those movies, only myself because I am nerdy." And then suddenly the vampire movie was uh, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise on that movie, and I was like, "What? Antonio Banderas? What is going on?" And suddenly the vampire movies were all hot, all different. No longer your Francis Ford Coppola was Coppola's Dracula. No longer that. It was sexy vampires, and that gave into the Twilight. Everything is sexy, so it's different. So I saw the nerd world change before my eyes. I saw it, but I still a nerd. And I also saw my voice being silenced. I also saw that not exactly my voice, but just the voices of the nerds were silenced. Were like, shh, 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 don't make your opinion. We don't want it. You don't know shit. So okay. I guess I am taking myself out of the equation, and I am not going to the movies. I haven't seen the last uh, Star Wars movie. Haven't seen it. I don't know the name even. Didn't care. Didn't care. It was like, it's no longer for me. It's no longer for nerds. Didn't saw it. Saw the Mandalorian because my wife cannot stop. Cannot stop asking to see Mandalorian. So okay, let's see. Let's watch the Mandalorian. And I was curious, and I may recognize that the Mandalorian was acceptable, but it was not great. Not great. It has a lot of lazy script writing, lazy script writing, neglectable, lazy. I am talking too much, too much. Should I talk about drawing instead? Let me finish. So I think the culture is going to change, to shift. We're going to see a hard shift in the culture, and it's going to start in the art. You're going to see it in the music, you're going to see it in the graphics arts, and in the movies. And I don't know about those feet. I don't know about those feet. Should I draw this like this, Sophie? Or should I change it? Maybe Sophie's no longer here. It's no longer here. Should I change this fit? Something like this. I think the fits are mirroring each other, and I want him to be like standing there, and he's flying in. So I think this fit doesn't work. This doesn't work. So this is like a perspective drawing. It should be always everything is in perspective. Everything is always in perspective. Doesn't matter what you think. We are on a 3D world, and this 3D world is in perspective. So this guy will also be in perspective. So the cultural revolution is going to happen. Trust me, trust me. Remember what I'm saying here. If somebody ever listens, it's going to happen and going to start with the nerds. It's going to be the vengeance of the nerds. The real nerds are still there, and we're getting tired. We're getting exhausted of the situation. The situation has come out of hand situation, and we know we know how to make good nerdy shit that is going to change the culture over and over again. That feet look horrible. Just like this. Just like this. And then the dog feet is over there. But I don't think I am going to be part of the revolution. I think I'm going to be a spectator of the revolution, but it's the young people. It's the young people that is the ones that are going to change and shift everything. The young people, the new generation is going to define, make new definitions of the for the. I think this fit is too big. Make new definitions for the culture based on what they just are tired about. If you're old like me, just remember like the 80s when it was like they have like this glam rock and hair rock, and it was like meh, and suddenly came the 90s, like 89, then 90, and the grunge exploded, and it was like clean slate. Phew. Everything about the 80s was forgotten in one weekend. Something akin, I think, is going to happen. Something like that. Everything from the 20s, from the early 20s, is going to be forgotten from one night to the other. I don't have, I need more water. So I'm going to hold on a second. I'm going to come back. I'm going to save. Come back. Since saving take like a minute, it's giving me time to refill my bottle of water. One second. Okay, so what you need for artistic revolution to happen? You need a fertile ground for artists to express themselves. That's what you need. Many artistic revolutions started because some artists started to, I don't know, gather together on a same spot. Like everybody went to this coffee shop, and all these painters went to the same coffee shop, and they met with each other, and then they started to exchange ideas, and then they started a new artistic movement, and this new artistic movement revolutionized the whole uh, painting of that era and created, like, I don't know, like the impressionism or something like that, right? So that's what you need. You need a fertile ground for ideas, where you gather a lot of artists on the same place and you give them freedom of expression. Where can you find that? Pero in the internet. The internet is that, yes, no, but the internet is very big. The internet is so big. And it's so full of, is full now of cancel, full of cancel culture. You cannot express yourself. An artist, you cannot express. You have to. You don't need. You have to censor yourself. Uh, but I think Webtoons has the potential to become that fertile ground where artists gather together and can express themselves freely and revolutionize the whole thing, the whole, how did I call it, the zeitgeist of the culture. I think they can do that, and I think it's one of the possibilities. I think it's one of the possibilities. We have on Webtoons, we have artists from different places of the world. We have artists from South Korea, artists from Latin America, artists from Europe. So it's a fertile ground for exchange of ideas, right? It's a testing ground for those ideas to see which ideas work better with bigger audiences. It's a fertile ground for audiences. I know it has a lot of potential. Has a lot of potential. What webtoons need to understand, or I hopefully to avoid, is what took a shit on the comics comic industry. They need to avoid like the tribal thinking and the censorship thinking, censorship culture thinking. They need to avoid that. If they can avoid those traps, because it's a trap, it's a trap. You are not doing. You are not going like I'm going to censor everybody because I am a bad person. That's not how it goes. You go with a different message. The message goes something like this: I'm going to create a safe environment for everybody to enjoy my platform. Does that sound harmful to you? Obviously not. That's how a trap works. It doesn't sound harmful at all. It sounds like a good idea, in fact. And if you got somebody that sells you this good idea, maybe you can purchase it, right? I'm going to create a safe environment for the people on my platform to enjoy, and there will be no issues, no problems. The people are not going to fight one against each other because I'm going to have a safe environment, a safe place. And that is not possible. That is not possible. So you're looking to have some impossible, and since it's not possible, you are not implementing it. You are implementing something else. Something else. And whatever this something else is not what you think it is. It is not. Whatever this something else is more reminiscent of an authoritarian system. And we have our share of a story on about what happens with authoritarian systems. How happy are the inhabitants of those authoritarian systems? Let me know, according to story. So you're wanting to create a safe environment for everybody to enjoy, but you are creating hell. You are creating hell. I think this is not dynamic. This is not dynamic. Dynamic. Come on, move. Move like this. Mm. hard to engage with the audiences in YouTube. I have hard time to engage. It's been a little bit easier for me on Twitch. I think this is more likely, right? He step one. He make one step ahead and punch, or try to throw some kind of harmful. It's more likely. Okay. So yeah, you are like, and I'm going to make this safe space. I'm going to make this and that. But you're creating like an authoritarian system where only certain voices can speak. The other voices are silenced, and the rights of everybody are forfeit. And you start to set a lot of rules, put a lot of rules into action, and everything is rules, and the creativity plummets, and then some months later you are, or a couple of years later, you're asking, what the hell happened? What the hell happened here? Why everybody's fighting? Why everybody's fighting each other? Why everybody is upset? I wanted to create this safe place, this safe environment, and everybody's fighting, and everybody's wants against each other. Well, you create that. You made it. Thank you very much. You created that. So it's a trap. If they can avoid this trap, so they are from Asia. I don't know the name of the area, how to name it in English. It's like Asia Pacific something. APAC, I think is the area. They are from that area. That area is a little bit different than here, culturally speaking. So maybe they have different eyes to see, and they can avoid the trap. That they can go, okay, okay, we can we can do something to aim. That's the truck again. To train for to have a safe space environment, but we are not going to enforce it like if we can have a safe space environment, because we understand and we know that that's not possible. So we are not going to purse to chase the impossible. We are going to just try to have the bare minimum for the majority of people to enjoy our platform, right? It's different thinking, a little bit different, and I think they can do that. That's why I'm placing my money on Webtoons. They can, I think they can avoid the trap. And I have seen like a lot of red flags of the trap on Webtoons already. I am seeing it. So I understand Webtoons is fighting against the trap. But the trap has not set there yet, I think. It's not set. It's not armed, the trap. And this contest is giving me a signal that the trap has been or is being disarmed as we speak on Webtoons quarters. Right? If they disarm the trap is no longer a, a menace. And the thing with this trap is the cool thing about this trap is that it's like a magic trick. When you go, when they go, okay, if you do this and this and this and this, and they give you this formula, you are creating a safe environment for everybody on your platform to enjoy. That sounds like magic. That sounds like magic. And actually, it is magic. It is magic. It's like magic. But when you realize it's a magic, it's a magical trap. When you realize it's a magical trap, you no longer see the magic. You see the trick. If you can see the trick, there is no way you will see magic ever again. I have this magic trick. I don't know. I make you choose a card from a deck, right? Choose a card. Choose your card, and then I do something. I don't know, something extreme. I told you don't show me the card. Nothing. I won't touch the deck. I will push the deck on this trash can. Throw your card over there, and then I set the deck on fire, and the deck is long gone. And then I told you, let's go to, I don't know, this other room that you have never been before uh, since you arrived, and open that cabinet. And the first thing you see in the cabinet was the card. The card. And let's say that before I told you to write your name in the card. So when you burn the cards, and I show you the same card as yours, you know it's yours because it's your card, because it has your name on it. So you go like, wow, this is magic. This is magic. And you believe it's magic. But if I told you how the trick works, and I told you, no, it's because you signed the card, and I told you to throw the card into the trash can. And when you threw the card into the trash can, you didn't actually throw the card into the trash can. I deceived you, and you throw the card into this small uh, uh, compartimento, like this small cabinet inside the trash can, which I can retrieve your card and give it to my fellow assistant without you noticing, because you were very preoccupied watching all the cards being set into fire. In the meantime, my assistant was taking your card into into the another room and into the cabinet and placing it there. And then after all the cards were all worn out and you were sure that your card was gone forever, your card was actually very safe in that cabinet. And I walk you there and told you open the cabinet. You open the cabinet and you watch your card, the one that in your brain was long gone forever. and it was there, your car, and looks like magic. But it's not magic, it's a simple trick. The trick was you were preoccupied watching something else. I took your car and take it safely from one place to another. And now you know how the trick works. So next Wednesday or next weekend, you come again to my house, and I told you, please choose a card and write your name on it. And you're going to be, man, are you going to do the same trick? You no longer see the magic. Once you know how the trick works, the magic disappears. And it's exactly the same thing with this trap. Once you know it is a trap and how the trap works, you no longer think it's a magic. It's a magic formula. You know and you understand. It's some dangerous shit that you're dealing with that can fuck your audiences up. So I hope the people at Webtoons can see the magic trick, or see the trick and not the magic. Okay. I haven't drawn this, but I think this one looks cool. I think this one looks. It's kind of cool. It's almost the last drawing of this character before he's been sent into oblivion by this other character. This character is called the Gast, I think. We call it like that. This one is called Tenkalik, and Ten for short, just Ten. His friends call him Ten. So after blocking, Ten is going to obliterate this other character. It's funny how I found several people on these streams that comes and tells me that my art is awesome or my art is amazing, but I cannot I cannot like believe it. I cannot believe that my art is amazing. And I kept seeing errors, kept seeing try and taking shortcuts and not doing amazing things. Like all this scene looks amazing and there is no background. I am not doing any background here, and if you ask me to play some background here, I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea. None of these have background. It's just the characters. This one has something reminiscent to background. These two, this one has background, just to remind us that we are still in this place. Most of these scenes doesn't have background. No background at all. So I don't know. Other artists will make, like, I don't know, very intricate background here, very nice, very fluid, very artistic, full of energy. Probably that's why I am not having such a huge success. I am having no success at all. I don't have any success. Let's hope and see what happens in this contest if I have success there. Let's see. Let's test these grounds. Are these grounds fertile for artists with their own voices to speak up? Can I eventually have my own voice as an artist? Almost there, almost there. Another thing, can I live out of my art? Can I dedicate my life to art instead of working for a company? Company that is not dedicated to art. Company that is dedicated not to client services, something like that. Client services. Okay, I think this one is done. I need to clean this up to see. This looks horrible. This looks horrible. To make it more. I'm going to use the same old trick. The burst. This almost works already. This almost works. What I don't like about this, I think this works like this. Like, it's not obscuring the guy's face nor the enemy's face. It's obscuring a little bit the body details, but it's giving me some kind of like dynamism and impact. Yeah, adds impact into the block. I think what I wanna do is just erase some of this. Like this one I don't like because it's messing up with the punch. I want the punch to look. This one is not, there's no problem here at all. And I don't know, maybe this one is too much. What about just like this? See, so the character is not being too crossed out. This one probably can do the same. Something like this. Something like this. It's like a little, some fewer lines crossing out the characters. I like that. I like how some lines look. Can I do that in everywhere? It's very evident that what I'm doing. So like at an angle. Should this have a sound? It didn't add sound to this one. Should this have a sound? What's the sound of this? Like heavy impact sound. Heavy impact comic sound. Effect. Impact comic sound effect. Whack, bam, boom. Crunch, smash, wham, kaboom. What is the best one? Crash. Crash. Crash is good because she's crashing into the building. Crash. Wham. Boing. Boing is like when somebody rebounds. Wham. It seems that whams is being used when somebody gets like hit with a hammer or something like that in the head. Um, I think crash is crack. Crack is like when something cracks, like a bone cracking. And kaboom is like explosion. Kaboom, kaboom, smash. Bang obviously is a weapon, and smash. She's smashed against the wall, against the building. Smack. Smack is like a smack in the face, right? It's like a when they hit you. Smack. Smash. I think it's between a smash and crash. Crash, crash sound to me like car crash, and a smash sounds to me more like what's happening here. So let's go for a smash. Let's go for a smash. The font is Badaboom. Smash. Make this should be like this. Say, boom. So what is this? Direction of detection. What is this? Effect? Strike line. I don't know. It's not what I wanted to do. Smash. She's Nina is kind of yellow. It's kind of yellow with black. It's going to use some yellow for this smash. Boom. If the colors change the effect a lot, I would change the color of the effect. So no worries about it. It can be any other color. Because I think here everything is going to be very yellowish. Very yellowish. All the plaza, all the buildings around it, everything very yellowish and orangey. And the sky blue, blue sky, clear blue sky. So maybe this match blends a lot and I will change it for something, I don't know. If it blends too much, maybe I do it something like this. And that would be it. And if it's super too much blending, then something like that. And that's it. I will just look for a color. But as for now, I think it's a nice yellow color. Okay, for now. So let's duplicate this one and this one. Let's rasterize it because I want to transform it really hard. I want to transform this. Transform. Mesh transform. What happened? Okay. Cancel. Okay. And I have the number of horizontal lines, the number of verticals, sorry, the horizontal. Why the horizontal is aiding verticals? This is weird. Okay, maybe like this, maybe like this. Okay, now I'm going to no, cancel, hide the one in the background. Okay. Mm. So this scale rotate, free transform the sword perspective. No, can I make the transform mesh? And I cannot make it. Okay. Transform mesh. Okay. And okay. But once I do that, I cannot change the numbers. Refine. This is difficult. Transform mesh, and now add some numbers. No, this one's not. Probably not more than that. Probably something like one per letter. Can you see? One per letter. Okay. Now that I have the mount, I can move it. Okay. I can move it. And what I wanted to do is to like wrap it around the explosion. Wrap it around the explosion so it looks a little bit like that. So this one is going to be more, and this one follows this. See, something like this. And then this looks like shit. So I start to modify it a little bit so the letters doesn't look so ugly. I want the S a little bit bigger, the first S. I'm just looking for a nice look. Looking for a nice look on the letters. Maybe if this has like some kind of round angle like this, like this. See, it's like round and rounder. Let's apply and see what happens. So I don't know if this smudge is too big. Let's not make it that big that it obscures the art. Let's see where the art is more boring. I think it's here. Here is where it's more boring. So something like this. There. It's not obscuring too much. It has a sound. Okay. Now we have the sound of this one. Which one needed more sound? We have this toot, we have this toom toom. Didn't add sound for the rocks because I think it was like overkill. And this needs, you know what this needs? A crack. This is asking for a crack. This is a crack. T. Let's make it a crack. Yes. And I just make the size. Just let's first. No, I think I hit help. One second. Okay. Just make it certain size. Then let's duplicate it. Hide this one. Rasterize this other one. Can we color it? The crack is the crack of the stones. So it will look something like stone. And then the white. And I may add some cracks to this like by hand, by hand. Probably a little bit more saturation to this crack, a little bit more light. Eh? Is there a quick shortcut for the transform mesh transform? Control Shift T. So what I do is I just select another tool and do the Control Shift T. Yes, it works. Great. Like one per word, one per letter, and move it a little bit. And I wanted to like follow this curve, right? It can be, but Pedro, you have liquify. Yes, liquify is cool. Liquify is cool, but this mesh gives me a lot of control, and I like that. Just moving all things together. I'm going to fix it later, just to make room for the ones at the bottom. Right, so now everything looks so compressed, but it's not so bad. Doesn't look so bad. Everything is so compressed. Let's keep the integrity of this line. I don't want too much noise around that line. Okay. So now I can start making. What will happen if I go like this? Like the crack goes like this? Will it be too crazy? Will it be too crazy? I don't know. Will it look like shit? I think it looks like it's melting, and it's not melting. So I will try to align things a little bit better. I think it's cool that the exclamation points go out of bounds. Exclamation point going a little bit out of bounds. I like it. See, so it's a little bit smaller here and goes into a little bit bigger over here. More or less like the shape of this crack. It doesn't look so stuck. So I just grab one text and write something down there, and that's it. The next one is the hammer punch. The hammer punch. I wanted to do it on a stream because the hammer punch is super sexy. But I want to do it another stream. So I'm going to end this one here, create another one. What is this? 3 hours? 3 hours only too. This is better, I think. It's more likely. So I'm going to stop this one and start a new one for the other. Stop this stream and start another stream for the next frame. Probably take a little, I don't know, 10-minute break or something like that, 20-minute break. Then I will start again about 9:30, 9:40. And this one is going to be probably until, I don't know, 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning Central Time. So I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to take a little break because it's going to be some hours of drawing. So I need that break. Otherwise, I will hurt my hands. That is not something that you as an artist want. So yeah, I'm going to take care of myself and have some minutes of stretching and relaxing the hand before going into another 3 or 4 session. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your kind comments. Thank you, Sophie. Very appreciated. And please like, subscribe, come back, come more often. Uh, Send me your questions. I will help you in any regard I can. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.